Hey guys, welcome back to the tower. I hope you're having a good day wherever it is you are and whatever it is you're doing. If you're not and you're having a tower moment, you've come to the right place. All I do are tower moments and, you know, fun times for everybody. These messages are timeless, so whenever you're watching this is when the universe wanted you to see it, and there are no star signs. Everybody gets to play. So what I do here is I just drew 2 cards from the Major Arcana deck like that. I looked at the bottom of the deck for this for a little more information, and then we clarify. Whatever happens on this side of the tower is the cause of it. The tower moment and the outcome is pretty simple. And of course, I have to ask you to subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, YouTube will arrest me with their YouTube police because that's part of the contract. When you make a new channel, if you do, and you start making content, and if you don't ask, it's in the fine print of the contract that you got to sign. Trust me, it's all there. You just got to read it. All right, let's get started on your tower running. Huh? Judgment card on this side of the tower is basically you're not making a decision about something. You are very indecisive. You are holding back. You want to make a decision, but you don't have all the facts, maybe. We'll clarify in a little bit, but this is some kind of choice that isn't being made. That leads to the tower moment. The tower moment leads to the Lover's card. I don't know what that means yet, but yeah, I'm the lizard guy if you didn't know, so there we go. At the bottom of this deck, you got the Death and the Magician. So you are manifesting some kind of ending here. You really want something to come to an end. You're sick of it. You're tired of it. You just don't want it to be anymore. So you are very much focused on bringing this to an end. I don't know what this is, but we're going to try to find out. All right, let's clarify a little bit. Well, yeah, you don't have all the facts. You got the Ace of Swords on this side of the Tower of the Judgment card. So you really don't have all the information you need to make a good decision. This is kind of like, I wish I knew more. And it's also giving you the feeling that I wouldn't have made this decision if I would have known something in the past, or this fact. You know, it's like, if I would have known this about you, I never would have done that. You get the idea? So there is information you are sorely missing. You might be at a huge, crossroads in your life, and there's information that you don't have, and there's a lot of stuff going on. It's a lot of chaos. You don't know what's real and what isn't. You're asking around, you're looking stuff up, you don't know what's real and what isn't, and I get that feeling a lot. So you don't have all the information, and you might have too much information that you don't know how to get rid of what's real and what isn't. And everything has come to a standstill. You were in the Knight of Cups. No, not the Knight of Cups. Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Cups. What am I thinking? Anyway, I just drew a cup card. That's probably why. Anyway, the Knight of Pentacles is here, and that thing's just, nothing is moving forward. You're stuck. Frustrated, scared maybe. You just don't know what to do. Yes or no, left or right, up or down. It's just a huge decision in your life that could change everything in your life. Tower moment. Communication. Yeah, this tower is going to bring communication for sure. Maybe a little bit of travel. Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, so basically this is saying you're going to have to go do it on your own, I think. The communication is going to break down with the tower moment, and you're just going to have to make a decision based on how you feel. I hate that. Don't you hate that? You just got to kind of go with your gut. Sometimes that's the best way you can do it, but this is a big decision. This is something that you just don't want to just hope for the best on. I know that. I get that. But you got to trust your intuition. You've got to know, you got to trust yourself and just say, it's going to work out, and we're going to do it, and we're going to give it a shot. And then the Lover's card over here. Oh, boy. Yeah, Five of Swords. Page of Cups. And the Ace of Pentacles. So after the tower happens, after you just kind of, the communication breaks down and you just have to make this decision on your own, I think you're going to feel loss. You're going to feel like this wasn't worth it. I get the feeling because the Five of Swords is the card of defeat, of the card of loss, of the card of I can't do this anymore. I quit. The Page of Cups is about the card of, it's like a flirty energy, immature love. It's immaturity, emotions. It's you have a crush on somebody, but you don't know anything about them. You just looked at them once, and you're like, oh wow, they're so pretty, and kind of that's it. And then the Ace of Pentacles is all about a new beginning and money and, you know, a real life. So I get this feeling that you are really going to feel defeated. You're going to feel like this was not worth it. And the only thing that I think this is going to get you anywhere in life is just like material gain, like money or maybe a place to live. So this whole reading, I feel like this is a huge choice for you to make. It's like I have to go live somewhere, and it's like imagine you're a woman, right? And you need a place to live. And you meet this guy and he shows interest in you, okay? And you don't show interest, and you're like, and it's clear to you that he has no experience in this at all, or very little. He's younger than you. He doesn't have much money, but he does have a place to live, right? He's kind of there. He's got his life in order, but you're really not that into him. But he's got a place to live, and you need a place to live. So this is kind of like the energy of, yeah, I'll just say and do whatever it takes to get moved in. You know, I don't really love this guy at all, but I need to do this. You think you do anyway. I don't know why you would think that, but that's how it works. That's how this energy is reading. And then once this happens, it's a total mistake, because the only thing you get out of it is the bare bones basic, right? This emotional choice doesn't get you anywhere. It gets you to a place of, yes, I can survive and I can eat, but I'm going to be miserable everywhere. Why are you manifesting an ending, though? Why would you be doing that? What is going on here? And are you good where you are, but there's just a few things you don't like, and you really just kind of want to make things better? Grass is greener on the other side of the fence, and that's what's keeping you holding you back. This is what it feels like. I mean, guys can do this too. Everybody can do this, but it's just, I feel like you're making a choice here when there really isn't one to be made. I think your life is pretty good, but there's the Seven of Cups here. And when that Seven of Cups shows up beside the Judgment, I feel like there's a lot of people talking at you. There's a lot of information. You don't know what's true and what isn't. And there's people that will tell you that, you deserve better, or you shouldn't settle, or this, that, and the other. And eventually that gets into your head. Even though you might have a pretty good life where you are, if you've got other people talking to you constantly and saying, oh, well, you could have it so much better if you did this, or you did that, or, you just don't know what to do. So the Ace of Swords is, you need truth. You need truth, okay? You need truth, and you need some quiet time. I would suggest that when this tower starts to burn and you start to break off communication to whoever it is that's providing for you now, that you talk to them. I get the feeling that you're in a good spot, you're in a good place, you're exactly where you needed to be, and people are trying to convince you to move somewhere else, to do something else, to, your life would be so much better if you move this way or move that way, and you're listening to them. I mean, they're putting problems in your head that weren't there before, but eventually you're going to start believing they are. That's what happens to people. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope it does, because it feels like if you do this, you feel like you lost everything. You feel like you're defeated. You feel like you gave something up bad. You feel like this emotional connection that you made isn't really going anywhere. And the only thing you have is a new beginning in, like, a new place to live, and that's pretty much it. So you really didn't get any further ahead than where you were already. All right. And you are definitely manifesting an end of something here, but I don't think you want to do it. I don't think you want to go through with this. I would, if I were you, I would definitely stop listening to people who are telling you things are better. If you move over here, it's better. If you live here, it's better. If you come live with me, it's better. You know, if you need a new place to live, but you're not sure. But the only reason you need that is because you think, life is be better because it's closer to work or something simple or stupid. In the long run, is it really worth it to go through all of that just to get closer to a job that might fire you in a month anyway? I don't know. This is kind of a mistake. I feel like this is just going to be misery if you go over here. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Ten of Wands, which is the burden card. This is the card of burden. And I feel like that's basically what I've been saying this whole time is this is a lot worse. Where you're heading, where you're thinking about doing is worse than where you are. Now, there's other things like abuse and this, that, and the other, which this doesn't really apply to that because then, sure, definitely get out of that. But if you're in a really good spot and you just think the grass is greener on the other side of the fence because you've gotten bored or you're used to whatever you have here and you've got new people talking at you and they go, oh, it's so much better over here and this, that, and the other. And then you believe them and you go and it's not. But then you're stuck because you can't go back. Because I feel like once you leave this area, this place, I think it's gonna happen in a way that this is the Tower card, communication over the Tower. I think it's gonna be a fight. I think it's gonna be an argument. I think it's gonna be like, why are you doing this? Why are you leaving? And you're just gonna say, because reasons that even if you try to talk to him to anybody else on the outside who's outside of your circle, isn't going to make any sense. So yeah, you're doing this completely on your own type thing. You can go wherever you want, but I just think if you move or if you move forward from where you are, you're just going to regret it. It's going to be worse for everybody involved. I mean, even if you have to do what I said earlier and just kind of manipulate somebody who's younger and doesn't have much experience, which is what the Knave of Cups is, the Page of Cups is somebody who's younger and doesn't have experience and they're emotionally not on the same level as you. They're easily manipulated, and if you have to do that to find someplace new to live, I think you're going to feel bad about it eventually because it's not going to turn out the way you thought it was. It's just gonna be kind of I mean, we all pay a price for where we're living, and sometimes that price is more than just rent, right? Okay, I think I've rambled on enough. You are trying to manifest an ending here, and I don't think you need to. I think you haven't thought far enough ahead of what comes next, and I think you are going to put on a lot of burden on yourself that you don't need right now. I think this Judgment card is trying to tell you that you should stay where you're at. I mean, it's not perfect, but, it could be a lot worse. And I think you're heading towards worse if you get up and leave. Oh, what a reading this was. I'm going to show you the cards, and that'll be it for the day. Here we go. Check it out. This is just a bad decision waiting to happen, and either if you do it honestly or you just sweet talk someone into it, making them think that, oh, we're going to have the greatest relationship ever, or, whatever it is that you do to find a better place to live, I think you're going to totally regret that decision. You should probably stay where you're at. I mean, if it's workable and it's safe and it's, you know what to expect, I would stay right where you're at for now, because this decision you're going to make is probably the wrong one, and there's no telling where it could lead to next. All right. I hope you make a good decision. I hope this helped, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Good luck. Bye.